We are talking to Portia Modise, of course. She is the former Banyana Banyana star who has since retired after a very long career. She's joining us in studio here after the launch of her book last night. Portia is here. Good morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Benj. How are you?
How did the launch go?
Man, everything was super. Everything was perfect. The attendance, it was marvelous. So we had a great evening.
Okay. The title, From Portia Modise with Love, had me curious, first of all. Why?
I think Portia is about love. You know, since I've been playing football, I've been giving love. I'm giving my fans love. I'm giving my teammates love. I'm giving my family love. Also, my fights, you know, also in women's football, it's about love. You know, and what else people think, which I'm always angry. I'm not angry. You know, this game brings happiness, brings people together.
For the love of the game.
For the love of the game. So, it's about love all the way.
So, why did you decide on a book? You retired a few years ago. Why finally have you decided that people need to know Portia Modise's story?
I think Benji started while I was still playing, you know, while we were struggling, having those journeys that we experienced in football. I felt good. I needed to write a book. I needed to tell a story because, you know, we've been suppressed for such a long time in women's football, you know, not really getting a fairly treatment, and players, they will be quiet about it because sometimes we didn't have a voice to talk because, you know, which when you speak, sometimes you're not going to be part of the team. So we needed to be quiet for such a long time. So I felt good. I needed to be that voice. I've earned that voice, you know, being the top goal scorer, you know, in Africa, you know, male and female, still being the top. So I felt good. It's about time that we tell our story. People, they know what we went through, while as people, they quick to judge when they see us walking in the street. They don't know what is going on behind the scenes. I felt good. The young players that are coming after us, they really don't have to experience what I've experienced.
And by the way, she says top goal scorer, 102 goals for South Africa. No footballer in South Africa has scored 102 goals. In Africa, thanks for the correction, has scored as many goals as Portia Modise has, and it's just amazing, an amazing achievement. In South Africa here, no man or woman has scored as many goals, so she is quite right. She's earned her stripes. She earned the right to talk about South African football the way she wants. And you spoke passionately at Maria Ledwaba's press conference, at which a lot of things happened, but you spoke passionately there. Some of those things we expect in the book. Are they in the book? What are some of the things that we can expect in there that you touched on there?
Mamela, there are a lot of things that people, they will know, you know, in my book, what was happening in women's football, us not getting paid the way guys, they used to get paid, us getting paid the $50 daily allowance, us we're not getting daily allowance, but...
$50?
Yeah.
50 rand, like 50, yes. This is you for the day, Portia Modise.
Yes. So there are a lot of things that I'm touching.
While in camp?
While in camp, you know, we didn't have so much freedom while we were in camp. We were told, sometimes, you know, you have, you know, LGBTIQ plus members, you know, in the team. They used to feel suppressed. We were told, sometimes when we have interviews, we need to really say we have male partners, while we didn't have male partners. So for me, there are a lot of things that it will teach the young generation, also parents, you know, out there to really understand their kids. Like me, because there are a lot of kids who are like me in football, and their parents feel good. Maybe it's witchcraft to be lesbian. So I'm trying to correct that. I'm trying to at least the parents to say, it's not like that.
Is this the abuse that you spoke about today, that you endured in your days in the national team?
Yeah, this is the abuse I'm talking about, because there are a lot of things will happen even when we travel. You know, we feel good. We're supposed to be taking care of better than what we're getting now, but people didn't care. There was times where we felt good. We were given a food poison. Our teammates nearly died, and no one spoke about that. And for us, I felt good. But if it was Bafana Bafana, a lot of people, they were going to know what happened with a lot of players in Bafana Bafana while they were going to play a very important game. But with us, it's like nothing happened and no one cared after us, after that, when we came back home to make sure we were okay. So I felt good, me writing this book, it has to change also the leaders. What I've wrote there, it will really touch their hearts. It will remind them who they are, you know, and if they're not willing to change, they need to see the pain that they're causing, you know, to these players that are playing today. Because if they're not going to change that, I don't see women's football going anywhere else.
Is it getting better though? Is it getting better from looking, you know, the inside, looking from outside? Is it getting to a point where you would have liked to be in while you were playing? No,
I think we're still standing in one place. The only thing that has changed, we're looking the same now. They're giving us the uniform proper now. But in terms of salaries, we need to have a living out of this thing. That's when this thing will change. When we start having endorsement, you know, sponsors coming on board, getting paid a salary that you'll be able to maintain your life, you know, like anyone else that is working, because we're also working, we spend time there. So if we can't have a living out of what we do, we need to also juggle 5 jobs before I can...
So professionalizing women's football.
Yes.
And what Portia is essentially saying here, if you don't know, women's football in South Africa is not professional. Women who play at Banyana Banyana level, at national team level, still have other jobs, and they have to ask for leave from their jobs to go and represent South Africa in France at the World Cup, wherever. Whereas the men, this is what they do.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even take leave. Sometimes they make them to make a choice, which either it's your job or it's a national team.
Oh, wow.
You know, there are a lot of players lost their jobs. There are a lot of players stopped going to school just because they wanted to be in the national team. They wanted to present their country. And after that, you find out which you're not part of the team that was supposed to be going and present the Olympics, but they made you in the preparation to lose your job.
So it's not worth it, according to you?
For me, for now, it's not worth it, to tell you the honesty, because it will be silly of me, you know, to sit here and tell young girls they must invest in this. Until we get paid, until they make it professional, like USA saying the men are getting the same, the girls are going to get the same payment like our men. Please, I will advise any girl child to play the sport.
Wow. Landmark agreement, of course, with U.S. soccer that we reported on yesterday, where an agreement is that the male and female footballers or soccer players will be getting paid the same rate from now on.
Yeah, because it will be really silly of me. I think I know the pain, I know the struggles that we're still going through. You know, when you see Banyana Banyana going to play, don't think things are looking perfect when you see them on TV. From distance, yes, it will look good. But when you come close, when you start to talk to these players, you start to realize that nothing has changed. And that is sad. These players, they're giving what Bafana Bafana give. You know, they're sacrificing them, they're qualifying. You know, they don't have to host for them to be part of, you know, the Africa Cup of Nations. They qualify, they play. You know, they give their heart out. But end of the day, when you check their lifestyle, how they live, it's very sad. Some of them, they come from disadvantaged, you know, backgrounds. I used to live in the shack, and after when you score goals, when you have to walk in your township, you start to get also an abuse in your township. Your people start to abuse you because they have these expectations from you. Which you're playing for a national team, you need to be driving a better car, dude. You need to live. You need to have this house that they create in their heads.
But Portia, is there a point where you say, okay, I have moved from that stage now? Is Portia Modise okay now? Are you, because you said a few days ago that you used to score goals for the national team, and we witnessed that, but you went back to live in a shack.
Yeah.
Does it get better at some point? Did it get better for you?
It did get better when I won the Sports Star of the Year. You know, when Balula gave me that $1 million, off of it I built a house for myself. I end up not living in the shack. Now I have a house. But it's not like I'm happy with where I'm staying. I want my house. I'm old enough to own my house. I feel good I've worked. You know, for me to be able to buy myself a house. But right now I'm still staying with my sisters, nephews. Do I want to be surrounded by them? No, I want my own space. I want to create my own family now. But I feel good. See, maybe in time, people, they'll listen, maybe. Better ears, they'll hear what we're saying. They'll change the game.
We don't have a lot of time. Were you forced to retire? And are you say you're not angry.
Yeah.
But do you hold a grudge against SAFA, against the South African Football Association?
To tell you the honest truth, I won't hold grudges for SAFA. It's just a building. I'm holding grudges for people that they were supposed to be real leaders, that they betrayed us. They were not leaders. They were not even near to be parents. Instead, I don't know where they were, what they were doing, that time that they were supposed to be real leaders, take care of athletes. I feel good. There are a lot of athletes who cry like me today. It's not only me. My story is not better than others. There are still others who struggle the way I'm struggling today. But those people, they didn't do a good job.
Well, Portia Modise, there's a lot to say, of course, but we'll find it in the book out now from Portia Modise with love. We use the word legend cheaply in this country, yes. But perhaps in your case, the word itself is an understatement. Portia Modise, over 100 caps, over 120 caps for Banyana Banyana, over 100 goals, a legend of South African football. From Portia Modise with love.